Hello, I'm called Tim. Adjust my camera a little bit. And it's around noon, so I am here with my live hangout. I usually, right, okay. I usually do not talk about sports. Um, I'm at a level of awareness where sports, it bores me. To be quite frank with you, it's boring. I don't get anything out of it. I don't see the point. But I know that sports in this society is very important. A lot of people depend on it for their livelihoods, and a lot of people depend on it for escape, and they need that. Just like people need uh, alcohol, drugs, and I like snacks personally. So I have my vice. Sports is just not my thing. But I've been noticing that San Antonio won. Now, I like Tim Duncan because I follow him from Wake Forest. So always liked his style, always liked the way he played. When I was involved in sports, that's how long he's been around. So I kind of keep my eye on it, and of course I have family and friends that like sports and things like that. So I noticed though this victory moves beyond sports, especially in the context of what the former Clipper owner said about the NBA. So let's get into it. Basically, this owner said, "Listen, these black players do what I say because I pay them," implying that sports is a master-slave relationship. He said, "I own the players because I own the team." I may be paraphrasing, but that's the implications. To which many YouTubers like me said, "Yeah, you're right. You do own the players when you own the team. When you own the workplace, you own the workers. That's the way this system is run. This is a big giant plantation. Everywhere you work is a plantation system. And if you know the history of the United States, you know that. That's why they don't teach it to you, because they don't want you to know that you're a slave." So he implied that it was a master slave relationship. Everybody jumped on him. Other owners forced him to sell the team. By the way, he paid $13 million for the team. He's getting $2 billion. So who wins, the slave or the master? You tell me. Now, San Antonio Spurs, they won. Now, this is going to bring up two issues. One, LeBron James will no longer be the face of the NBA. For the last 4 or 5 years, he's been the face of the NBA. He's the best player in the NBA right now. I don't think anybody would dispute that. Everybody says that. I don't watch sports, but I don't know. I guess he is. But he's no longer the face. And LeBron James being the face of the NBA has always been a problem. And I noticed this from the beginning when he did that magazine shoot where he's King Kong holding a white woman bouncing a basketball. He doesn't have all the qualities to be a good leading slave, a good buck. Yeah, he's physically strong, he plays really well, he plays really hard, but he doesn't know how to smile, and he doesn't have the charm, right? And this is a very shallow society. He's not aesthetically pleasing. Think back to Michael Jordan. It was aesthetically pleasing. He had a nice smile, right? And he was strong and played hard and did all those other things. He was a good buck. LeBron James is a good, strong buck. But he's not charming. He doesn't have an actual good face. But he was the best. Young people like him. So the NBA made him the face of the NBA. When you're the face of the NBA, everything leans towards you. Referees lean towards you. Everything leans towards you. That's how Miami won 2 championships with LeBron. If you look at those series where he played with against Oklahoma City, there's obvious that the league wanted him to win because he was the face of the league. That's just the way it goes. So now San Antonio's won, and they beat Miami in a convincing manner. They just destroyed them. So the NBA is going to be looking for a new face, a new charming buck, plays hard, smiles, has a nice smile, has a nice look. I'm thinking maybe Kevin Durant is the next one. He's, from what people say, the second best player in the league. So he will probably be the face of the league from now on. He plays hard. His body type is not bulky, but he's strong. And he already has the endorsements, the commercials. He has a nice smile. He looks good. It's a good buck. Further pushing the slave-master-slave relationship. There's another issue with the San Antonio win. And I noticed this, I've been listening to people talk about this, and that is that San Antonio, Tim Duncan and the other players in San Antonio took pay cuts so that they could get more players to help them win. And now the new systems are going to be saying, and now they're already saying, maybe LeBron should take pay cuts, maybe D-Wade should take pay cuts, maybe players should take pay cuts in order to win. You shouldn't have 1 or 2 players taking up all the salary because the NBA has a salary cap. Now this is interesting because for years we have been saying, look, especially since the book $40 Million Slave came out, that this is a slave-master-slave relationship. But the players would say, wait a minute, no, we're not slaves, we're business people, and we're getting market value. This was their argument. We're getting market value. Now, with the San Antonio win, and Tim Duncan saying, I'm not going to play for market value, I'm going to use my salary to get more players. Ginobili said, use my salary to get more players. Now you have players who are going to be asked, well, why don't you just take a pay cut to get more players? Which means players can no longer say, well, I'm not a slave because I'm getting market value, because you're not going to be getting market value anymore. You're going to be expected to take a pay cut. But here's the thing, why do you have to take a pay cut? Because you're a slave. Why can't they raise the salary cap? And why do the owners not have a salary cap? There's no cap on how much they can make in endorsements, merchandising, television contracts, etc., etc. They have no cap because they're masters. So here again you have slaves entertaining, running and jumping for slave masters. I say it's okay because we're all slaves at some level. At least you're getting a certain kind of lifestyle. You don't do anything with the lifestyle. You don't help other slaves, or you don't help other people to try to be free, or you don't help yourself to become free. But it's your life. It's your decision. But you are slaves. And now that San Antonio has won, now that pay cut is going to be the new mantra and the new pressure put on all you players. You can no longer ask for market value, or else you're going to be seen as not wanting to win. You're going to be slaves that can't even get your value or your worth. So you tell me, are we going forward in this society, or are we going back to chattel? I fully expect that one day somebody's going to come and say, hey, you know, you're a bright guy. We have a house out back behind our house. We want you to live in that guest house, in that shed. and we want you to tutor our children. We want you to teach workshops on our blog. I expect that before I die, this may happen. Um, Black people don't understand the condition we're in. They're not interested in dealing with it. And so I don't think I'll live that long being a black man, probably 7 more years. But I fully expect that one day somebody's going to come and say, you know, leave where you're living, leave where you're staying. We have a shed out back, we have a thing out back. Tutor our children, we'll feed you, and we'll give you this. Because that's where we're headed. And this win in the NBA Finals is more than just a win. Okay? See, I see things from all angles. And I hope that I'm encouraging you all to see things from multiple angles. If any of my viewers or anyone in the chat room has anything to say or ask, speak now or forever hold your peace. Going once, going twice. Okay. Until next time, if you're sane, keep your head up.